Hey everyone, it's Exoman, and I had an interesting day today, and I thought I would chat with you. The sun is setting. Beautiful. And I'm just finally relaxing. Started out my day by inspecting a house, a new little place that we bought as hopefully a nice little rental. And then I got a call from the buyers of our farm. Most of you know that we began all this kind of filming and putting video up on the internet on the farm, and that we sold it. And it's been some months now. It's been quite a while. Wonderful young couple bought it, and they're really enjoying it. But today, one of the emus escaped. And it's just, if you know anything about them, you have to really keep it up, the containment, how you fence them in, and sometimes tree limbs can hit parts of fence, etc., and they can breach. So I said, well, that's a shame. It had been out overnight, and he didn't know it. There had been some trees cut at the farm, and they were scared, and somehow one of them got through the fence. So I said, let's start calling neighbors and see what we can do. And by God, somebody spotted the emu down a lonesome stretch of road in the boonies, and it was the end of a road. So he was able to go out there, and I told him to bring a can of feed, to shake it in the can and make some noise to attract her to him. He did this successfully and kept her close to him until I was able to drive the 15 miles to get to them. And we wrangled her, and I was so happy. It was a long shot, because emus, I don't know, they can run easily 30 miles an hour. They just all leg and muscle. And we got lucky. She didn't bolt. Very skittish. This one was a very skittish animal. So then, what I wanted to share with you next is people, please take care of your animals. And I know this, I'm singing to the choir with most of you because you're loving, good people and you take care of your animals. And what's the reason for having a dog, a domesticated animal, if you're not going to take care of it? Don't be a bastard and treat these animals with cruelty. So I go to Lowe's. I was grabbing a gift certificate for a friend who helped me today. And I'm in there. I've been in there for 10 minutes, and all of a sudden I hear on the speaker, on the loudspeaker, somebody said, the person who owns a such and such truck, please, Ford F-150, please go attend to your dog immediately. The dog that is in your truck. And I'm thinking, gee, it's not winter. It's not even fall yet, and it's pretty warm outside. So hopefully this person will go out there. And then 5 minutes later, again, the announcement over the speaker, because apparently nobody showed up. So I finished my shopping, and I wondered about it, and I thought, oh, I'm sure they're going out there taking care of their dog. Checked out. Sometime later, I find myself in the parking lot. I'm like, wow, there's a Ford F-150, and it's black. So I go over to it, and I'm looking at it, and somebody pulls up and says, yeah, that poor dog in there. And I said, I don't see a dog. They said, it's in the back. And I looked, and sure enough, there's a puppy panting and dripping they can't sweat, so they drip. And I said, well, that's not right. It's a black truck, and the window's cracked like that. And I waited, and I don't want to be one of those overreacting people. You can't be you got to find the middle road, right? Didn't Buddha say? Don't overreact. Just pay attention. There's this jackasses that will go and break a window because they see a dog in a car. Well, was that warranted? You got to be judicious about that kind of thing. So I waited. It didn't seem like a real distress situation, because it was in the upper 70s and maybe 79 degrees. I got in my truck and I sat there, didn't turn the car on, and I said, man, it's got hot quick. So I kept looking over at that truck and I thought, where is the person? This has been 10 or so minutes now. Waited a little while longer, went over and looked at the pup again. The lady told me that was standing out. There were people that seemed to be watching, like I wasn't the only one that heard this over the speaker. So I think people had gone out to their cars and were waiting to see what happened. This is really good. This is good because nobody was overreacting. They were doing what I was doing. Waiting, watching. People are watching you. If you mistreat your animals, if you do it in private, you're a bastard, and God help you in the end. But if you do it out there where people can see you, they're watching you and know that people are going to take care of business. So look, here's a good rule of thumb. Don't leave your animal in your car. Yeah, a lot of us have done it for a couple of quick minutes on the perfect day with the perfect weather. But if you don't have your air conditioning on or your heat on in the winter, don't do it. It's just a bad idea, because here's why. People who see your animal don't know who you are or where you are. They don't know if that animal has been in there for a long time, if it's going to be in there for a long time. They don't know. It's just a bad situation. So don't put them in a position of wondering and then thinking, well, I've got to do the right thing and at least wait this out and see what's going on and make sure this dog is okay. People have better things, more important things to do than babysit your animal. Be a responsible pet owner is what I'm saying. So I waited a little longer, and one lady came and told me that she had seen the dog earlier hung up. The dog had a leash, a tether on it. It had one of those retractable leashes, and it was hooked to its collar. And I'm thinking, what kind of moron? Why did he leave this leash so the dog could get bound up on something? Well, I think she said it was hung up somehow on the visor. And she said, I got in the car and freed the animal because he was like hung up. So you saw the dog hung up in this truck?
There's somebody by the window. It was on the passenger side.
Okay. And so I finally called animal control. And the police and animal control showed up 5 minutes later. I met them and said, I didn't want to overreact, but this has gone on for at least a half an hour now by the time they were there. I said, because I've been in there for so much time, and then I came out and waited. So I said, I estimated getting around a half an hour, and that guy's probably been in there shopping for a while before that. I wondered what the hell was going on. Is the guy in there talking? So they're out there. The animal control guy went right into the car finally. He looked around, watched the animal for a minute, then he just went right in there, got it out. It was a German Shepard puppy. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months old, something like that. And he put it in the back of the guy's truck. And then he went to his truck and got a big thermos and started hydrating the dog, giving them the water. And so I sat in my truck and waited and watched, and I said, God, it's been 35, 40 minutes now. After a while, here comes a guy with a small bag, finally walking out of Lowe's. And I'm thinking, he had to have been in there pooping and talking or whatever. Got hung up in a long bathroom visit, got hung up in a half-hour conversation with somebody in plumbing. So he comes out there, goes to his truck, Virginia tags, and those guys, you could see him talking to him and pointing at the car, and you can tell he's rationalized. What the hell's the problem? Blah, 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 blah. I'll take care of mine. On his truck it says, I love my German Shepherd. Well, if you love your German Shepherd, why are you going to leave it in a black truck with dark interior in 80-degree weather for 40 minutes with the windows cracked like that? So anyway, I was I was thankful to see the guys were giving him grief. They weren't just like, oh yeah, we understand people overreact. No, they were saying, you blah blah blah. No, you. They were giving him business. And then I saw the animal control guy go to his truck and get out a vertical tablet, and I'm sure he wrote him a citation, which is good. Make people accountable. So my message to you is, you do what you do, but try to be thoughtful. Try to be judicious. If the guy had gone in there, if the windows were cracked a little more, I'm just saying, realistically, it's probably 75 and overcast when he went in, maybe even less, because it was overcast earlier in the day. But by the time I'm standing out there and it's been 30 minutes, the sun is beaten down like it is right now. Uncomfortable. But watch, observe, make sure you're not overreacting. Don't go smashing people's windows. Don't go breaking in people's cars. Wait. Watch, go in the store. If the dog is not in clear distress, if it's a child, call the cops. Do what you got to do. Protect life. But go easy. And observe. Take a little time. Animals are worth time. I waited, and I didn't like it, so I called the cops. And the situation was in hand. Thank you, everybody, for looking out. Thank you all there's so many good people. There's so many more good people than bad. Trust that. I believe that. So, anyway, that is my message for today. And I'm sure there are many things I could have touched on that I didn't, but I appreciate you watching. Be safe. Take care.